And because of my interest in lifestyle change, we end up making a lot of suggestions and tweaks in their nutrition. And obviously now we're entering the digestive tract when we talk about nutrition. And the biggest resistance or symptom I have seen when we work with our patients of Indian origin is when we tell them that they're protein malnourished and the discussion of increasing protein intake comes up. That's where a lot of drama starts in the sense. And I have a lot of questions for you. I have like at least 5 questions for you. We'll go through them one by one based on what my patients go through. Is I eat protein and I get an upset tummy. What to do about this? What would be your explanation? Because I know you've sort of geeked out about gut health. And after I met you last, you rattled off what happens in the stomach, what's the pH, what's the small intestinal situation with bacterial populations, what's back happening in the large intestine. And I was like, man, I need to open Guyton's textbook of physiology again and revise before I meet this guy because he's been reading. Okay. So, from your perspective, what do you understand in terms of why does a person who takes protein experience gastro or digestive distress initially?
So let's just take a quick step back and we'll walk through what happens when you eat protein, right? Just prima facie. So protein has to be broken down into amino acids, which is a smaller component for your body to absorb it. The beginning of that process happens in your stomach. And when you eat a large amount of protein, ideally more than your stomach can handle at a certain point, and I'll tell you how we can figure out what that limit is, you'll start experiencing some sense of discomfort.
Okay.
Inherent in what I've said is two things. Either you've had more protein than your body can handle at one point of time, 3 scoops, 4 scoops of protein, for example, at a time, or you've had an adequate amount of protein, but your stomach is not in the right state or does not have the capacity to process that. I think it's either one of these two areas where you'll start seeing some complaints of heaviness, indigestion, tightness. I think this is where it starts. So protein inherently has absolutely no problem. It's a basic building block. You need to eat protein. And there's no doubt about this. So it's not that protein is bad for you. That's the furthest thing from the truth. It's just that your body probably isn't fully equipped to handle the amount you've just consumed.
Yeah, we need to, and that's fantastic. That's so helpful to hear you say that because that's been my thinking on this as well. And yet the unfortunate stand that a lot of people in India have been taking is after I try the protein, which they say is good for me, I get stomach symptoms, I'm not comfortable, and I decide that means I can't tolerate protein, protein doesn't suit me, I need to stop or avoid that protein. Is that the right answer according to you? For, let's say it's your friends and family and they say this to you, what would you say to them?
I would, like I said, just take a step back, right? First, figure out what they've had. And you can tell this inherently. Drink or have a glass of whey or have some paneer, right? Both feel very different in the stomach. So the first thing is, what type of protein have you just had? And is it a problem of the protein you've had or the amount you've had? Second, cut back. My mother, for example, she visited a couple of specialists and we've all recommended that, auntie, you're not eating enough protein. It's time to start. She's vegetarian. She can't eat large amounts of dal. So it was only natural for her to find the best possible protein supplement that was healthy, clean, no fillers, etc. And she tried it. Day one, she tries 1 scoop, which is the recommended amount. That's 20 grams of protein. That's something that's not gone into her body for 20 years. How do you think on day one the stomach will handle? It freaks out. It's now suddenly doing something that it's never, designed to do, but it hasn't done for 2 decades. And so the problem there wasn't the protein, it was the amount she took.
Or the speed.
Yeah, correct. And so imagine, correct, or the speed at that, the amount at one time, I don't mean across. And so, stretch this out. She continues taking, she pushes through that for the first 5, 10, 15 days. Suddenly that amount's not a problem. It's like going to the gym, right? You don't go on day one and pick up a 50 kg dumbbell. You pick up a 5 kg dumbbell and you slowly work your way up until your body and muscles are used to it. We don't say, after the first day of going to the gym, I'm never going to go. The gym doesn't suit me. My body is paining. No, right? Why do we react to protein in the same way?
Right. Brilliant. So this statement of, and again, we're not talking about allergies, right? There's a very big difference if someone has a peanut allergy or a genuine medically life-threatening nut or basin allergy. And there are small pockets of people of Indian origin who do have genuine allergies to certain protein, and those are medically, confirmed cases. We're talking
Yeah.
about the mid bucket of people who feel these stomach symptoms of poor digestion. Maybe they get bloating or gas or diarrhea.